did an extensive research on several programs to look at what specifically could meet the needs of our students, as we have a diverse range of ability levels and reading levels in our students. And in our research, we kept coming back to iReady because it offered what we needed in terms of individualized learning plans, and it gave us specific diagnosis in terms of where the student deficits were. And so it really worked to meet the specific needs of our students. In terms of magnetic readers, we really wanted to focus in on the early years in terms of those skills that were missing, and we've seen tremendous growth in our students in bridging the gaps of those learning deficits that were, as we said, varied at all levels. So it was not one specific category that was deficit, but it allowed us to meet the varying needs. As a school leader, EduEnhance has been invaluable in terms of supporting us in our implementation of iReady. They have given on-the-spot quick fixes in terms of technology. They have provided ongoing professional development at the leadership level and at the teacher level. And this has allowed us to be able to fully implement the program with fidelity and see the amazing progress that we've been able to see within our students and their reading and literacy levels. So EduEnhance has provided us through iReady a data set that we can actually be able to understand where students are and their specific needs. And we can use that in turn with the teachers, using the data to develop specific groups and stations that address individual and collectively group deficits and enhance the overall instructional process where they guide students and build upon their deficits so that they meet their needs.
Groups are made based on the iReady data from the first diagnostic, and then when the diagnostic comes around a second time, I kind of use that to switch up the groups, so the groups are pretty much homogeneous as far as that goes. I also use the iReady data for learning pairs. Well, I'll take a high-level learner and merge them with a low-level learner, so that way we're kind of getting a little more heterogeneous and some I guess peer-based learning in that way. One thing that I always do after we do our progress monitoring is iReady goal getters. So our iReady goal this year is 3 lessons per week. They have to pass them at 67%. I tell them 80 just because 67 I still let them go through. And as also ongoing support is when I am doing that progress monitoring, I get to see which lessons the kiddos are struggling with or which domains the kiddos are struggling with. Like iReady, I think being able to use the data from diagnostic to diagnostic has helped with our data talks, right? So the students, it's easy for them to understand from one diagnostic to the next where they fall, right? And they love to see the numbers change. Did you show any growth, right? That's really my biggest note to the kids. If you grew 1 point, that's progress. So I think the kiddos and the teachers even being able to see that progress from diagnostic to diagnostic and even from lesson to lesson, I think is supportive enough.
Maintaining student engagement in a digital lesson is not difficult with iReady because it's very, very student friendly. The students see lots of visuals, Clory, the characters within iReady actually keep them very engaged. It's very hands-on, so the students have to answer questions after a certain amount of time. They have to take active roles within the actual lesson, and they have to make sure that they are engaged. So even if a child does chime out after a certain amount of time, they do go back into the lesson and it'll ask them, are you still there? Are you engaged? Just checking in on you. And that's a very, very hands-on activity with them. Different lessons have different criterias for different levels, so that keeps them very engaged within it. I take iReady very, very seriously, and so my students understand that because our teacher is very passionate about it, they are very passionate about it. We have starting steps, so they take the diagnostic, they know where to start, they know where they are and where their levels are. We have conferences with them, we have sit-down discussions as in, what are you going to do next? What are your next steps? Let's set some goals, realistic goals, and then we talk to them about how can they get there. And then iReady has a built-in platform to help us with small group interventions. It helps us with setting those goals, giving teacher-assigned lessons, your my learning path is already adaptive. So that's already there for the students. They know that they can continue on my learning pathway. But within that, when we're talking about ownership, we have trackers. So our students will sit, they will do a lesson, they will track. How did I do? Did I score enough? Was 67% enough? Was 80% enough? Did I score 100%? Was this lesson too easy for me? Was it difficult for me? If I failed, why did I fail? And they go back to track that. They will tell, throughout the lesson, we give a 15 or 20 minute slot within the lesson to say, this is how long we're going to spend on iReady in the lesson. And they sit, they write down what lesson they did, what did they struggle with, what did they move forward with, and they also encourage themselves. So you have iReady games, but we also use like Class Dojo to give them plus points for those sort of things, and they track. We got this well, we didn't do this well. Miss, I did 3 lessons, but I think I could do this one better. I'm going to take this lesson again. And the platform also lets them take a lesson again if they failed. So it gives them a second attempt, and then they'll come to us before attempting that lesson to say, I didn't understand this, can you go over this concept? That's also a high alert for us when it shows us the yellow signal and the red signal on iReady, how to move forward with their goal.
One student in particular, this boy, he does iReady every day, just small blocks every day. In our class time during our centres, he does iReady and he's very focused. And looking at his Diagnostic 1 to Diagnostic 2, he's met his stretch goal, he's met his growth, and it's clear that you can see the progress. You can see that at the beginning of the year he was KG level, and now he's after moving up into mid-grade level for Diagnostic 2. From just being consistent and just so we do 2 lessons a week and we do 30 minutes minimum per week. And he has met that every single week and done extra, and you can see it. You can see it in his growth. Some of the resources that we have found worked really well were the punch cards, and the kids feel very motivated using them. And it just took a bit of time just going through what we were shown and what we were trained on, and just taking our own time to just see what would work well in our classrooms. But there's always been support.
EduEnhance has been wonderful in terms of anytime I need to make a phone call where a teacher has a question about something, or the teachers can email EduEnhance to find answers that they don't have. There is a glitch that we just haven't figured out with the technology. EduEnhance has been there to help us through any of that process, so it's been an absolute breeze for us. So EduEnhance directly helped teachers to understand how to use the data more by coming in, one, with our magnetic reading, to come in and walk us through the process to ensure that we were doing the lessons as they were needed instead of changing it, so that we were getting the most from the program itself. Then in addition to that, with iReady, coming in and meeting with the teachers to go through all of the different resources that are there online, again, to help with the small group learning, as well as helping teachers to understand how to read the data, how to interpret it, and how to pull the small groups, and making sure that we are utilizing all of the resources available, and to ensure that we are meeting with the students to incorporate how the students can understand their learning that's taking place as well.